So here is our second example for long division of polynomials. And remember that because we're dividing by a binomial, this is what makes this need the long division format. And the unique thing about this one is when we look at the power, we have x to the third. We do not have the x squared term. We have x to the first, and we have a constant. So when you have a missing term, we need to put in a placeholder there. So missing x squared term must use plus 0x squared placeholder when we write it in the long division format. Let's get started. We'll put the 6x to the third plus 0x squared minus 8x plus 20 in here. And then the 2x plus 4 goes out front. So you do not just put a plain old plus x squared here. If you put a plus x squared there, it means you have a 1, and it changes the problem completely. We need to make sure we put a plus 0 there. So we are going to do what we did previously. We're going to start our division. 6x to the third divided by just the front piece out here. So what do you need up top? When you multiply it by 2x, you'll get 6x to the third. We need 3, and we need x to the second. And it typically happens that the power you need is this next spot over. So 3x to the second. And it is best to line that up in the x squared column. So this is why we need that. So we have a place to line things up. And eventually, if you ever learn synthetic division, the 0 is necessary in synthetic division. So we take our top, multiply by the front. 3 times 2 is 6. X squared times x is x to the third. We're always trying to match this exactly. And then the second, remember that there's that second part when you multiply out front because you have a binomial out here. So it's also 3x squared times 4. So that's plus 12x squared. And we have a spot to line it up because we put in that placeholder. And so now we need to subtract. Whenever we divide, we multiply, then we subtract the result. But you're not only doing 6x to the third minus 6x to the third, it's 0 minus the 12 over here. So that's why it really is important that you realize you're subtracting the entire binomial. So 6 minus 6, those are going to drop out. But here it's 0 minus 12. So you're really getting minus 12x squared down here. And I did talk about it on the other video that I like to, when I distribute this negative here, negative distributed with a positive makes this become a negative. So I circle that so I can visually see that I'm doing 0 minus 12. So after you did your first division, you're ready to bring down that next term, minus 8x. And let's just review in case you need it again. The first division that we did was 6x to the third divided by 2x. So that's 3, and then x to the third over x is x to the second. And then we put that up top, and you always take the top, multiply it by the front, 2x plus 4. So if you want to do this off to the side, feel free. 6x to the third plus 12x squared. That's what we originally had here before subtracting. And one thing I had a student tell me before about this process is it was DMSB. It really helped them. It's 4 steps every single time. You divide, which is right here. After you divide, you multiply by what's out front. The S is subtract. You subtracted. And the last step is to bring down. Bring down your next piece. And now we're going to repeat that process again. So the next division is with the negative 12x squared. So negative 12x squared divided by 2x. So what do I need up here? So I multiply it by 2, I'll get negative 12. I need negative 6. And then x times x will give me the x squared. And notice how it lines up with that term. So that will give us negative 12x squared there. And then negative 6x times positive 4 is negative 24x. So that second division was from the minus 12x squared divided by 2x. This part here divided by that. So that's negative 6 and then x. And we multiplied that by the front, 2x plus 4, which is negative 12x squared minus 24x. And that's how I got that right there. So we divided, we multiplied, now we need to subtract. So we're subtracting this binomial from what's above it. This is why, right now, minus 12 would add to minus 24. But when you subtract that, instead, subtracting a negative makes this become a positive. So that's why those are dropping out. So this becomes a positive 24, right? Minus 8 minus negative 24 makes it be a plus 24. So that's going to give us a 16x. So we did our subtraction, and now we got to bring down again. So bring down the plus 20. And this is how you know you're done with your division, when you have a constant over here at the end. And look at how things are lining up. X squared, x, we should get a constant right here. So 16x divided by 2x is just 8. Right? So the third division was 16x divided by 2x. So the x's are dropping out, and you just get the 8. So that's the 8. And we need to multiply 8 by both of these. So 8 times 2x is 16x. 8 times 4, they're plus plus, so it's plus 32. So realize here that we're not getting 52 as a remainder. We're not adding these. We need to subtract. So 16 minus 16 is gone. 20 minus 32 is negative 12. And again, if you want, you distribute the negative with a plus sign, this becomes a negative. So that's why it's negative 12. And this is our remainder. So we write these as fractional remainders. We got a negative. So you're going to just put the negative and put the 12 in the numerator and use your divisor as the denominator. You could do this as a plus sign here and put the negative up here with the 12. That's all right too. And again, if you want to check and know that you're right, the way you check division is you take your answer at the top, multiply it by this out here. So you have to distribute. You have to do 2x times all 3 of those, plus 4 times all 3 of those. When you get done, you'll have a constant on the end. You would have to subtract 12 because you had a remainder. When you subtract 12 from that, you should get back to this original problem that was right here.